help spark social change. So we want to help increase our nation and continent's technological and economic competitiveness by ensuring that no girl who constitutes more than 51% of the nation and the continent is left behind the African digital revolution. We can all agree that there is a digital revolution going on. So no girl or young women should be left behind. We promote student-centered learning that empowers the students and makes them active participants in the learning process. We aim to make tech relatable by teaching computer science, media, and advocacy through real-world. Welcome back to life. Through real-world projects in storytelling, websites, applications, and more. We go beyond training and focus on raising up true leaders for their time, connected to a supportive and diverse community of mentors for life. We offer one-on-one personalized mentoring that helps the young women break through societal barriers and break glass ceilings in media and tech. So I'm not just talking about things that it started as a dream, but it's no longer a dream. We actually have success stories where some of our girls go on to get job opportunities, social media management in organizations. We have one girl who came and was telling a story about her father forced her to pursue a career that she didn't want to. She wanted to do media, and after attending our classes, we do what we call power classes for women. So after attending our classes, she went on and managed to convince her father that she wants to pursue a career in media. So we also encourage and help our young women to be community champions of change, who use the media and tech skills they acquire to lobby their local communities and government to change and amend policies and laws that discriminate against women, girls, and introduce new policies and laws that promote the rights and freedoms of girls and women. So our curriculum basically includes digital journalism, where we teach youth journalism, mobile journalism. Mobile journalism has always been my passion. So that's one of what we teach, one of the key areas we teach in digital journalism. We also teach blogging, social media management. We also teach, the other part of our curriculum is coding, where we teach concepts of loops, variables, conditionals, functions that form the basis for all programming languages. In advocacy, which is another part, the third part, we teach fact-based advocacy, civic leadership, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and the African Union Agenda 2063. So those are the three main parts of our curriculum that we teach our girls. So who teaches these girls? It's not us. We made a call for volunteers. Women, there are women out there who are willing to teach girls for free. We are willing to volunteer to teach girls for free, whatever they can teach them. So we trained, and so far we have trained and mentored 182 girls in 5 cities in computer literacy, mobile journalism, human rights, and sexual and reproductive health rights. So we have over 30 volunteers we have signed up to facilitate classes in our program. We are also the winners of the Shoko Festival Hub and Conference 2017 Women Rising Award. So that's some of what we have done. So when we started, we were not sure if you could find women mentors that were willing to teach tech, issues to do with coding, developing apps. We were not sure. We are media people, so we were not sure. But when we made a call for volunteers, we had so many volunteers who were willing to teach our girls. They are women IT specialists. So we managed to harness those skills. And it benefited our girls because a lot of mentors came forward teaching different concepts about IT, about coding, about software development, and that was so beneficial to our girls. So we have 6 months training at selected schools and centers, and we take 30 students per class, per center, and classes are facilitated by volunteer experts. An estimated 80% of students who can write a journalistic article and design and run an online digital advocacy campaign or project, 50% of students who can create mobile apps for community advocates. All students have, we make sure all students have an understanding of human rights, African Union Charter and Agenda 2063, and UN and SDG goals by the end of the 6-month course. So young women and girls are empowered with digital journalism skills, and young women are given skills to create basic mobile apps, blogs, and websites. And girls have skills, capacity to run small community-based advocacy projects. So we also collect student class attendance registers, class activity participation reports, volunteer sign-up and attendance. We continuously have people coming through to volunteer to teach our girls. So we also have results from class quizzes, tests, presentations, and assignments. My time is up. Okay. All right. So let me just finish up. We partner with Plan and Yali Creative, which is another organization which is led by young people who attended the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Our project is also supported by the African Union, International Center for Girls and Women's Education, and Women in Tech Africa, which is in Zimbabwe. So these are our key partners, the community, the local community-based organizations, local schools, corporate sponsors, local philanthropists. So these are our collaborators and part of the people we work with in our quest to educate the girl child to have a voice in the community. So our success stories are, I don't know, if my time allows, I'll just run through. Five of our girls from the very first group are now fully employed, using their media and tech advocacy skills within the corporate and public sector, and 2 of them are now also GSO volunteers. So some of the girls that we trained come back now as volunteers to teach other girls, you know, so it's just a ripple effect. So we were, in 2017, we were honored with the Shoko Festival Women Rising Award for our work promoting the rights of girls, women using tech and media. And also one of the things that teaching girls journalism and coding does is it promotes critical thinking and encourages them to be inquisitive, to ask questions. We encourage, in every class, we encourage our girls not to just soak in what the volunteers give them, not to just be passive sponges of information that we give them, but we encourage them to be inquisitive, to ask questions, critical questions, and challenge the status quo. It boosts their confidence levels and gives them courage. They not only can speak up for themselves, but they are also able to speak for others around them who are voiceless and to offer solutions. So thank you so much. This is all I have.
Thank you. Teresa just made me think of, you know, counting every voice, because every voice counts. Emma, may I call on you to... Oh, it's going to be Faiza. Thank you, Faiza.
I'll be brief. I think for us to see the daylight of the 17 SDGs is to ensure that we incorporate it into our curriculum. So as a Journalism Training Institute, we believe that with 26 years in existence, the emphasis has changed because the landscape of media itself has changed over the last couple of years. Media houses have downsized extremely. There's a lot of journalists that's unemployed for various reasons. Media houses are focusing far more on making profits than actually getting the news out there that people need to hear. So community journalism is a very powerful tool if access and utilize to the fullest. There were a number of gentlemen, I think at the back from civil society, raising problems and challenges. And I think the challenge I would put to you, like I put to a lot of our citizens in South Africa itself, is tell me what's the problem, but also think of what the solution could be. And that way we become more focused and we're able to steer the discussion in a way that we find a solution. Community journalism is important. People volunteer. But through volunteering, they gain access to training they otherwise would not be able to access. But also, they then look at their career path and their goals, where they would like to see themselves in the next 3 to 5 years. You then find they become employed within the public broadcasters, commercial media, government departments, corporate. And I think that's the kind of vision we need to teach young people. They need to see the world and where they start and where they can be, where they can land up. At the same time, too, everyone's talking now about the 4th Industrial Revolution. So what we have seen is the challenges that we are faced with. So our emphasis now is on digital broadcast in multi-channel, social media, source and platform, video online and editing, multimedia reporting, creative writing, so that people can be concise, they can grab you immediately and you want to read what they've written, and dealing with the media. We also focus on broadcast compliance and legislation. Now, all of this have come about in the last 2 years. We used to have a traditional calendar of 81 courses that we offered, but we realized to remain relevant, to remain competitive, you need to develop the skills and prepare people for a workforce that is needed. My main concern always when we talk about women and the girl child is that we work with them, but we need to make sure that at the end of the day, they gain full-time employment or they become entrepreneurs. Otherwise, they can remain in a cycle and not be churned out of that cycle itself. And by doing that, we also create blockages for more women to come in. Another challenge that I've taken on over the last 4 years, and it has been a challenge I'd like to raise. If we talk about women empowerment, we talk about working with women, training women, but I still find that very few women are comfortable getting up. This is fine, this is easy, it's 10 people. Getting up and speaking publicly. We find that we offer training of trainers, and we won't get the amount of women that we want. So what we've done now is we've sat down and we've started earmarking, identifying women that we want to handpick, meet up with them individually, convince them to participate in training of trainers, and become facilitators. Because we believe that we need, I think someone spoke this morning about being 50. I think in 3 years' time I'll retire. So my concern is always, it's us talking to each other. You know, it's when we do gender training or we go to gender workshops, it's a converter talking to